What's good guys, Tiger here, welcome to the channel. Today's video is going to be slightly different compared to most of my videos. Now, very often I get videos talking about recoil and how to handle it. Now, a video like that can only really be made with actual hand cam and showing you how I actually fire, how I actually burst fire some of these weapons and in order to control the recoil. So that is something that we're going to be doing today. I'm not going to be covering every single weapon because then that would just be a really long video. I'm just going to cover some of the most popular weapons and the weapons that suffer with recoil the most. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so let's first start off with the Spitfire. Most of you guys know that the Spitfire probably has the harshest recoil out of all of the weapons in Black Ops 4. So if we just aim at this target and hold it down, you can see the recoil is pretty fierce. Now if you tap the right button or trigger, you can see that I've just got so much more control with this weapon now. And that is how I'd recommend you use this weapon. There are different types of ways that you can press the Spitfire. You can see now that I'm starting to do longer bursts, but you're definitely not going to want to hold it for any much longer than this. Okay, next up we have the Hades, a weapon that I absolutely love, very good for getting headshots, and you can see the recoil is really harsh there. Again, if you tap the trigger, you can see that you've got so much more control with this weapon, plus it actually aims for the head, so you want to use that to your benefit. You want to aim for the chest, and then the recoil will naturally head up, and then you'll be able to get headshots. I was able to complete the Hades headshot challenges absolute months ago very quickly because of the way the recoil works for the Hades. I definitely recommend you try it out. Okay, now let's move on to a very popular weapon, and that is the Sorg. Now I am not using grip for the purpose of this video, just so you can kind of get an idea on how to use this. Okay, so again, you want to burst fire it. You can see what I'm doing with my right index finger. You can aim for the head. I find the Sorg to be really easy to control, plus the aim assist helps you so much when you strafe with the Sorg. It really is such an accurate weapon. And then even trying to go for the kills at long range, you want to tap it a little bit faster, but you'll still be able to control the recoil. Okay, next up we have the Maddox, my favourite weapon in the game. I find the Maddox to be really easy to control, and you can see here that pretty much every single bullet is hitting the target here. And again, very similar to the Hades, you want to use the natural recoil to allow you to get headshots. Again, at long range, still very accurate. You want to use the recoil to your advantage. It does sometimes go a little bit too high, so you definitely want to maintain it, control it. Tap the trigger pretty often, but you can see with what I'm doing with my hand that it can be very easy to control, and this is how I recommend to use the Maddox at those long ranges. Next up we have the Rampart. This is a very easy weapon to control. Again, I've purposely taken off grip just to show you what it is like without grip, and it is very accurate. The recoil isn't as harsh as the Maddox, but with high caliber 1 and 2, you do want to use that natural recoil in order to get headshots. Next up we have the Vapor, a very popular weapon, has a very fast fire rate. The recoil is pretty easy to control, but again you do want to make sure you are burst firing at those medium to long ranges. As you can see at the long ranges now, I'm tapping the trigger very often in order to keep it in control. The recoil can be a bit unpredictable, and then other times you really need to maintain it, but the Vapor is a very deadly weapon that you can very easily control. Next up, the Cordite. I love this weapon, definitely has fierce recoil, but it is still very easy to control. You can see how I am pressing the trigger now. I'm doing lots and lots of little taps in order to keep it in control. I'm doing a little strafing as well at this long range target, but still pretty much all of my shots are hitting. Now, even though I am practicing in firing range, if you do want to practice these shots, you can verse bots on the easiest difficulty and just try and go for those long ranges, but in all honesty, I do not think it's necessary. I think you can very easily just go into your normal games, keep this in mind, and you should be able to hit your shots. Okay guys, so that is it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, then consider subscribing and turning on notifications to stay updated on all my latest content. But that's all from me. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.